everyone. Thanks for coming to create with us. Today, we're going to show you how to create some abstract art that when you put it all together, it could be one collaborative masterpiece. First off, we're going to open our kits up. Inside, you will find an apron. Take your apron out of the plastic, wet your fingers like you're opening those pesky plastic bags, and separate everything. Get your apron on. Pause the video if you need to. I'll be happy to wait. Next, we have our paint pots here. We have 6 colors, the primary colors. To open these, you want to hold your paint pot with your left hand and then just take your right hand and pry open the little tab here, and it should come right open. Sometimes they stick, so maybe somebody can give you a hand in your vicinity. That's an expert paint pot opener. It took me years to master this. So get those open. Again, pause the video if you need to catch up. We have 2 brushes. We'll call them the big one and the little one. Sometimes I switch brushes, sometimes I don't, but it's all up to what you're comfortable with and the area that you're painting. So definitely make use of both of them if they talk to you. They say, use me. We have a napkin here, and this is for excess water. So when you wash your brush out or you're adding water to your brush, you don't want to add too much water because then the paint will get real thin and runny. So you want to dab it here. And this is our abstract piece of art. It's kind of some circles, could be some flowers. One person said top view of hot air balloons. Another person said some olives and actually some germs under a microscope. So let your mind really wander to what the possibilities of this canvas could be. And as you can see above are the other canvases that we did, and then they just mesh really cool together and they create one big masterpiece. So if everyone's ready and they're aproned up and all set, we'll just get started. I'm going to start with the big paintbrush and I'm going to start with the background. So I'm going to take a little bit of water just to help the paint float around the canvas a little bit. And I'm going to go in with yellow because I like yellow. It makes me happy. And brighten up this background here. And there's no rhyme or reason where I'm putting this yellow. I'm just kind of going with the flow. I don't have a plan. As you can see, the canvas to the left up here has some yellow in it. And I kind of like that. But I won't, even if I tried to paint that canvas exactly the way I painted it, I will never be able to paint that exact canvas again. And that's kind of how art is. It's just an expression in that moment. And we'll see what this one comes out as. So I'm going to put some yellow here and there. Spread the color around the canvas so that your eye follows the color. It's a good rule of composition. And definitely pause the video if you need more time for your background or if you need a potty break, anything. That's why the videos are handy because you can just press pause, rewind, and paint it all over again. Once it dries, you can paint this canvas all over again. Fun never ends. All right, so I got some yellow all in my canvas. I'm going to put some yellow in the circles here because I want the yellow to be throughout my picture. Put some here in the corners. I think I'll make this little guy yellow down here. You can see all the places the yellow's going. All right, so I got a lot of yellow going on here. And feel free to go over the lines. We're not driving on the road, so we're not going to hurt anybody going over the lines. This is the first layer of many, maybe, for your picture. If you think that you only want one layer, that's fine too. So I'm going to come in with some red. And since this yellow paint is still wet, you can mix it right on the canvas. So the red is coming on in here, and then I'm just going to do a little squiggly action, little tiny circles. And you can see how the red is lightening and becoming an orangey hue. And if you want, you can add more yellow to get a really distinct orange and kind of blend it so that you don't see the lines of the other color. Sometimes you like seeing the lines. Sometimes that adds character. I'm just going to take this brush here with this yellow and red, kind of just marry the two colors together on the canvas. You see how that happened? I just took the yellow and the red and mixed it right on in. So I got like a nice orange corner there. I got orange on my brush already. I'm going to come down here at this area. Got some orange there. Just going to dance around the canvas wherever I feel like putting some more color. I'm going to dip my brush back into a color, the red, bring that back in. Got red here at the bottom. I'm going to put some red at the top. And I really like how the colors look when they blend. So I'm going to come back in where I put my red and mix some yellow right on in with it. Grab this spot here. You see how I'm just pushing the yellow right into the red, and it's starting to make an orange. I'm going to carry the orange around the canvas. And I don't even know where my next paintbrush move is going. I'm just painting along. And that's the goal of painting. Don't put too much thought into it because this is, relaxing. You're supposed to be having fun. Don't worry about if you're making a mistake. Because if you don't like it and it dries, you can go right over it. I'll leave some of the areas a little darker than others. You can see I'm just pushing the yellow and the red around. So you could do this with other colors. Like you could use red and blue to make purple. You can do blue and yellow to make a different green. We have a green, but you never know. You just may want to try with different colors that we have and experiment. That's what's fun. All right, so I'm putting some yellow. And I just kind of play around with the color in the paint. I add more red, I add more yellow. I blend this area. And I'm just using straight strokes to do my blending. But you can do little circles too, and that creates a texture. That might be cool if you like circles. You can do flat stroke to blend your color. You might want to see some texture. So while the paint's still wet, you can put some texture in just by drawing lines in the wet paint. As you can see at the top, I did that. That texture there. It might look cool when we're done. Who knows? But you know what we're not doing? We're not thinking about what we got to do tomorrow or what bills we got to pay. We're sitting here trying not to mess this canvas up, right? And guess what? There is no way to mess it up. This is your masterpiece. I'm so glad that you decided to sit down and let your right side of your brain come out to play. In today's world, we are a left brain society, and the left brain is responsible for survival. So that tells us to eat, when to run, to breathe, stuff like that. But the right side of the brain is the side of the brain that's responsible for creativity. And it's really important to let that side out to play once in a while. Because that old saying, if you don't use it, you lose it, is very true. All right. So I'm wandering around my canvas here, and I've got some red, some oranges, and some yellows. And I'm just coloring in the areas, kind of seeing what pops up with where my colors go. I haven't even washed my brush off yet, and it's kind of fun because just letting the color wander around, how it just comes off the brush. And I like to use what I call a dry brush, which is very little water, very little paint, and it allows you to paint a layer in such that one, it'll dry fast so that you can add another layer. It goes on thin, so you can still see some of the details underneath. And it allows you to blend it a little bit easier. It's a dry brush technique. That's what I'm doing. All right, so here we are with our background. As you can see, I'm going to come in close. I went over my lines. And guess what? I don't care because I can put paint over there where I went over the lines and nobody's going to know. And that's exactly what I'm going to do now. I'm not even going to wash my brush out. I'm going to go into a different color. Let's see. I'm going to do some blue. And I'm going to make this little guy blue here. And a good way to do a circle is to plop your brush down and then just spin it like that, keeping the center. And then you can spin it the other way, keeping the brush in the center until you get that nice little line. It might take you a try or two. So this is kind of like a navy blue. Look, I didn't get the circle right, but I'm not panicking because I'll just make the circle bigger. Nobody knows. It's your masterpiece. And I like how that color came out because I still had some orange and some orange on the brush. So it kind of came out like a real dark color. So I'm going to repeat that color down here. I'm just going to do this outer edge, that color. I'm going to make it a little thicker than what the line is. Feel free to make this your own. Adjust it. Definitely let this speak to you. We really encourage creativity to come out. Everything doesn't have to be the same. We're all different. So your canvas is going to be way different. I'm going to take this time to wash out my brush because the color is getting a little muddy. And that term muddy is when you have too many colors on your brush and then all the colors just make one color. And I'm going to come back in and get the blue, and we'll see the difference of the blue now on the canvas. Now that we washed all the colors out, you can see it's a different hue. And I'm going to make these petals in this flower blue. And it's okay if you're going out of the lines. We can always come back and fix it up a little later on. Go in this blue. And I'm not going to color all of the areas in because I think I'm going to bring in another color. I'm going to color some of the areas in the blue. We'll see. We'll see how it looks, you know? Blue here. We've got a lot of blue going on this flower here. Flower. I'm calling them flowers. This wheel. What are you calling them? I'll be curious to see what you guys thought that these were. Definitely let us know. We're always happy to have some feedback. All right, so we got some blue going on in here. And I didn't color all of the stuff in. I'm going to go ahead and take some red on the brush now. And I'm just going to add that in different places. And you see it's kind of bringing a purple vibe along to the canvas where it's mixing with the blue. I'm going to come back in with some brighter red and just kind of bring that in different places. And it's kind of giving it like, hey, art. Got different layers going on, not just one solid color made up of a lot of different colors. Makes it more interesting, in my opinion, for the eye to look at when it's got different colors and textures. But you can just do your petals a solid color. It's fine. While I got this purple on my brush, I'm going to dab it somewhere else. So I think I'm going to go up here and make this the purple color so that people look up there. You're looking at my painting. I'm also going to make this color down here. Make this a purple. Why not, right? Put the purple up here in this corner, and then I'll put the purple here. And it's kind of a purpley red going on here. I don't have any rhyme or reason, just letting my brush go along with the flow. It's like not putting too much thought into things sometimes is a good thing. You might come out with the happiest little mistake that you've ever made on this canvas. And I'm going to grab some red and just outline this circle. And I still have some blue in my brush, so it's kind of leaving like this cool purpley red color. All around the circle. And you see how I made that line thicker? The outline of the circle was really thin. That's just there to guide you. If you want to make a thin line to go exactly with that line that we have there to guide you, you can use the small brush. But I'm just chugging right along with the big brush here because I kind of like the thickness of the line. So we got the red going on there. Maybe I'll put this red up here in this circle. It's like a purple. All right, I'm gonna wash my brush out. I think now I'm gonna grab some green. And I'm gonna put some green in here. I'm gonna do the sky green. Just gonna follow the line around. If I go on this line, it's okay. If I go out of the line, it's fine. The shape is just there to guide you. And a green circle here. I left that little dot in the middle open. You could paint right over it. Matter of fact, I will. And then I'll show you how to bring that dot back in. You could still see the lines. Just wait for that paint to dry and just put a circle right in there. So I have this green color, and I also want it to go other places so that we can have the eye travel all over the canvas. Here we go again, right? Some over here. I think I'm gonna make this petal green. I'm gonna do a texture here. And just make some little lines. I'm gonna come in with a different color, give it some texture. And I'm gonna put some texture on the canvas where there isn't even a line. How about that? Maybe I'll just mimic this line over here. This outside here. I'll just bring it that much around. And I will do that over here too. And I'm just making random areas on the canvas with the colors that I have on the brush. I didn't even wash it, but I'm going to wash it now because I'm going to come back in up here, and I think I'm going to add in some white. So white is really a fun color because it'll lighten up what we have on the canvas here already. So right at the top where we have the blue and the green, I'm going to add some white. And I kind of made a light blue-green color. I'm just going to dab that on just to give some texture. I'm also going to throw some white on this color here. Just kind of lighten it up. I'm going to bring this color up there, down here. And I think I'm going to pick a spot. Oh, right here. And maybe I'll just do another circle up there and some lines with this color that's happening on my brush. Got some white up here. Got some kind of white down here with the blue in it. And I'm just making different little shapes with my brush because this is abstract art. And it doesn't have to be anything. Just making some abstract art. See? And we're going to tie it all in. So I'm going to have fun here. Let's have fun. I'm going to take some blue, some green, mix them together and get a cool color maybe. I kind of got like a tealy color going on right here. Definitely like that color. We got that color by mixing the blue and the green. Right on the canvas. If you don't want to mix it right on the canvas, you can mix it right on your little paper plate there. I think it's fun just watching the color change as you put it on the canvas right before your eyes. So I like this blue-green color, and what I'm going to do is bring it down here. Some up there, some over here. Got the blue-green color here. Whee! Making circles. And what other color do I want? I think I might want to put some of that blue-green color in the middle of my oops. I think I'll put it down here. And I might want to switch to the little brush just to get on the details. So here I'm going to mix it on my paper plate. As you can see, I got my blue and my green. Just going to mix it together a little and make a blue-green color. And you can kind of do that until you see what color you get that you like. And a good color, I think. And I'm just gonna go right on in here and paint. I think I like it. I don't have to paint the inside. If you wanted to leave this white, you could. Just gonna grab a drink. Definitely feel free to grab a drink too. Put some green in here. Some green over here. Put some red over here too. Bring some white in. I'm just going to start adding colors, different colors everywhere. I'm watching the magic occur on the canvas when you do this. Just mixing different colors. See how fast you can put colors on the canvas without even thinking about it. That's fun. That's when the coolest things happen, when you don't think about it on the canvas. I'm gonna bring the blue back in here. Got this little thin brush, making these little thin lines now. Gonna bring this blue in over here, right on top of the green. And I'm gonna even do one more and put some white right on in there. Lighten that blue right up. Right on the green. And I think I'm gonna outline this a little bit. You know, bring that green. Oh, it's looking purple. Looking kind of cool on the yellow. Definitely just go wild with the color, with the brush strokes. As you can see, I'm not drawing any particular design. I'm just putting color down. And having fun, of course. Did anybody try to go real fast and see where your painting headed? Just dipping in and out of colors, random colors, taking the brush through all the colors. See what you end up with. It could be very cool. I'm going to add some different lines in that aren't even a part of the original design. Who knows? If you don't like it, you can always paint over it as soon as it dries. Kind of like this light blue effect we got going on. Put that here. You like, need some light blue there. A line. Bring some red in. Maybe outline that in green for contrast. And then it turned into that cool color. I'm gonna put some of that cool color right over here too. We're just putting color around the canvas. There's no wrong way to do this. You got this. My favorite is to paint with music. So maybe grab some tunes. Good conversation is always good at the canvas too. Or just sitting with yourself in quiet, meditative state is really good too. You know, your brain reaches the same wavelengths when you paint at the canvas as it does when you meditate. So it's very good for your mental health. And it's good for your soul. Just take some time out. We're always rushing around and trying to get this done and that done or worrying about this and that. Just paint a picture. Paint a picture. See, I started out with one thing and I went to another thing. I tell you one thing I like to do. I like to paint spirals. And it's real easy. I'm going to turn this guy into a spiral. So I just start in the middle and I work my way out. Just making circles after circle and just kind of going out. I'm going to come in with some white paint to make that stand out. So you can see it better. And spirals are so much fun. They just keep going outward and outward. They're a really cool symbol growth and expansion. So maybe we can have some of those in our painting. Little spirals. I'll do another spiral down here. And this time, I'll do it next to the circle. Just to show you, this time I started on the outside. I'm going to go in. That's fun. And my white is all different colors. How cool is that? As you can see, different colors coming into different areas on your canvas, and they create a whole new texture and a whole new color. Let's see, where else is my brush going to take me? Maybe I'll put some cool lines on this with this little brush. Bring some white in there. It really is no wrong way to paint this, and that's why this is so cool and beautiful. And the possibilities are endless. And it was really fun is when everybody's done, you look around the room and you see how different everybody's is. And you really appreciate that fact because it's like how different we all are. But we're all beautiful, just like our masterpieces will be at the end. And I'm not worried about getting everything perfect. You can see that. I hope you can see that. I'm just letting my brush wander around the canvas, picking up paint, making different colors here and there. Not even thinking, just doing. Just dipping my brush in some paint and putting it somewhere. And seeing how it turns out. Isn't that kind of how life is? We just kind of wing it and see how it turns out. Learn from our actions. And we see what we like. That's kind of how painting is. You see what color combinations you like or what designs, what techniques. Just wander around the canvas, put in color in, making making the area beautiful. And here we're pretty much at an end. I can just go on for days. I think I might just keep going for a little while. Um, just adding in some highlights and some brighter colors to kind of give my canvas a little oomph. You can alter the shapes any type of way that you want, any designs that you want. You can just keep going for days. I'm going to put a peace sign in here, this little circle right here. You can write words in here. Um, Anything that you'd want in your canvas. Do little dots. A neat trick here. You want to make really cool dots. You just take the other end of your paintbrush, dip it in some paint. Got it all loaded up right here. And I'm just going to go make that dots wherever I want dots. Maybe I don't want them all the way around there. Maybe I do. Put some dots down here. Just kind of tying things together in the painting. Put some dots in the middle flowers. And say you don't like the dots. When they dry, you paint right on over them. The dots aren't for you, paint on over them. Put some more dots in. They're kind of fun. And wipe that off on my handy dandy napkin. And you just gotta kind of look around and see like where in the painting that you might want to add some more color or bring another color up to that area. If there's an area that's got too little of color, maybe you want to put some more color in. Just kind of play around. As you can see up here in this corner, there's a lot of yellow. So I'm going to just come in with some purple and maybe I'll make a little design in here. I'll make some triangles. And I just broke that little bit of yellow up, gave it a little bit more interest. So I'm going to take that same color. Maybe I'll put it up in this corner. Maybe I'll make a little heart up in the corner. It doesn't have to be perfect, but there's a little heart. Now my picture has a heart. Down in this corner, I'm going to draw a squiggly line. And as you can see, it's not perfect, but it's fun. And the layers, you can keep going and add in more layers. And that's when the art really gets cool. You can just keep adding lines and layers over everything and really keep the person viewing your picture looking at how many different colors and textures and patterns are in your image. And I didn't have a plan when I started, and I just started doodling. This is just that big doodle. That's the word for it. Doodles are great, great way to relieve stress. Just keep adding in. What else do I want to add in? Maybe I'll put a squiggle up here, and I'm going to do a squiggle. Oops, let me get some more paint. I got excited about that squiggle and ran out of paint. I'm going to do a squiggle that just comes over everything. Like, it doesn't even need to be not, not covering something else. So there's a squiggle there. Maybe I'll bring the squiggle over here too, just to give it an added area of interest. Squiggle lines everywhere. And you can see all the different areas are going on. There's different aspects in every part of this canvas. And what canvas isn't complete without a smiley face? Maybe I'll put a smiley face right in the middle here. Look at that character that it brings. Who would have thought? I think what I am going to do is switch back to my, actually, no, I'm going to keep with the little brush. And I'm going to get some yellow. I'm going to come in and bring the yellow back in to this area just to make it pop. Some bright yellow coming on in. You could even just go right over everything in yellow and get new and different colors, because the yellow is sheer enough that it'll let the other colors pop through. I'm just playing around with color. Well, that's what the canvas is for. I got the yellow. And I'm gonna bring some white in there. And the yellow. Just kind of let things happen. Just keep going. Where else do I want to put some yellow? Maybe I'll put some white right here. Grab some yellow. Yeah, just really keep experimenting with where we're putting color. What areas might need more color, more texture, more brightness. This area down here is a little dark, so I'm going to bring some white in just to kind of tie it in. You see on the canvas where I got the white light colors up here, and there's some light colors here, and light colors even up here, but down here, there's no light colors. So we're going to tie that corner in with some light colors. And I'm going to bring the white on in. I don't even know what I'm going to do with it. I'm just going to doodle with it. Going to exaggerate some lines on it. So I think I'm going to come in here, and I'm not even really making sure that the line is connected. I like when the line kind of has a texture to it. So yeah, we're just making that where the white is down here, kind of tying everything in. Yeah, this you could go on for hours painting this, but probably gonna wrap it up here with all of the doodles. We can't wait to see what you create. Don't forget to post it on our social media, colemanevents.com. Or you could look us up on Facebook or Instagram. I think I'm going to just put this up here because I'm not good with all that. Tag us in all of your creations. We would love to see it. And don't forget at the end of your class to put all your works together to see what they do. And they kind of all fit together by matching up the circles in the corners. And they're not going to match exactly, but you'll get the gist of it. So just kind of, it's like a puzzle. Just kind of see where they're going to fit. And you know what? Sometimes they won't fit. Sometimes it'll just look cool just to have them together. So I hope that you enjoyed painting with me today. And we encourage you every day to stop what you're doing and create something with your right brain.